Right. So my next topic and my last topic is going to be about sports, and what the subtopic is what sports do you like? I'm going to introduce this topic. The people I interviewed as well, I will name Lee, Tony, Sarah, Lewis, and Ari again. Um, yes, the questions I ask. So, do you like sports? What are your favorite sports to watch? What sport did you used to do when you were younger? Um, what are the most popular sports in England, do you think? And what sports do you consider typical English? And afterwards, I will do a reflection as well of this aspect of culture, the interview experience, and I will also reflect on my language development over the course of the interviews. Yeah, so why I chose sports? Because I love doing sports. I've always played, ironically, football, and I like to run, and every now and then I like to go to the gym when I feel like it. Um, well, why I added sports as a culture element of England? Because England invented a lot of sports, such as football and cricket, rugby, and now these have become worldwide popular sports. But my question is, do English people like any other sports rather than sports that were invented by England? Um, well, they actually do, and I'm going to explain why. So, sports have always been a part of the English culture for many years. The British invented many sports such as cricket, football, snooker, rugby, darts, I'm not sure. These sports were invented in ninth century, so in 800, whatever, and started out as simple folk games in villages. And it's funny because they evolved into major lucrative international industries, according to Brassard. This does not mean that the only sports that English people are fond of are the ones they invented. For example, from one of my interviews, Tony um, mentioned he likes to go skiing with his family, and that he never liked playing football. Another sport he liked a lot was karate. Well, both sports, if you think about ski is from Norway, and karate must be Chinese, I think. I don't know. Ari, another person I interviewed, also doesn't like football. He mentions that he prefers to go surfing instead of playing football or playing cricket or darts. Um, yes, so but nevertheless, in general, when looking at what British people most like, one could conclude that football is the main sport in England because you see it everywhere. I mean, look at the Premier League and the gambling, the stadiums are full, etc. Well, while asking the people I interviewed about what sport they considered to be popular and famous in England, they all mentioned football. It did not mean that it was their favourite sport. As I mentioned above, Tony likes to ski every year in France with his family, as he never liked football, as I mentioned. Not only Tony mentioned he did not like football, but Ari also said he preferred sports such as surf and athletics. In opposition to Tony and Ari, Lee mentions that his life revolves around football. He's a big Arsenal fan. That's why I like him, because I'm an Arsenal fan too. He also says that his whole family are huge football fans. His children play football, his nephews play football in a football club, and all his family have always been involved with football. Uh, Whether it means playing the game or watching it in a stadium or in a pub with a whole family, they are huge fans of the game. To conclude, football remains the number one sport in England for many reasons, but not everyone likes the game. People in England also like to ski or do water sports, for example. So, yeah, although football is the main sport, uh, some people do not like it. I don't know why. Too bad. Reflection on the interview experience. Well, to be honest, this was a less interesting topic. Not because I don't like the topic. I love the topic. I've always been a big fan of sports, but because I know more about sports than the other topics, I thought it was less interesting because although it involves culture, I had the impression that I was listening to a topic that's already very familiar to me. So that was kind of a pity. I thought I would come to more insights, to be honest. The interview with Lee for me was the most interesting one because he talked about his trips and how his life is based on football. He mentioned that he had built a great network, and for that reason, he could visit all kinds of football stadiums. Uh, yeah, because the tickets are always sold out, as he mentioned, in England. And they're very expensive because people have season cards and sometimes you have a waiting list for 2 years and you just can't get in. Whereas in other countries, this is not the case because stadiums are half full and half empty. Reflection on the language. Well, my language development over the course of the interviews has slightly improved, I must say. I have learned some new words and my fluency has become a little better because the more you talk, the less you have to search for words. So for that particular reason, I think my language skills have improved again because in the beginning of the interviews, I had to search for many words and the words didn't come out as easy as they do now. So I kind of improved in that sense. Not only the interviews have had influence on my language skills, but also the reading part I have done while searching for articles. This means my reading skills have also improved over the course of the interviews. And why I think they've improved is because, well, when you read, you gain a lot of vocabulary and you think in language. So I think that's the reason why my interviews were getting better and better. Yes, so this was my last topic. Yes, it was about sport. I hope you liked it. It doesn't give a lot of cultural insights, but we can conclude that although most English prefer football, it's not a fact that all English like football, but it does still remain the most popular sport and will remain the most popular sport, I think, for many years to come. I hope so.